You and Cory Booker, I know you have tried to spearhead police reform. This is something that has stalled in the Senate. Do you have any optimism moving forward that there's going to be something that can get through the Senate and make it to the president's desk?
I'm hopeful, but everyone has to participate. So the work that Cory Booker and I did was around the Justice and Policing Act, and most of our colleagues on the Democratic side in the Senate support it. On the House side, there was bipartisan support for a similar measure, which has now been named the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, and bipartisan support. The Congressional Black Caucus was the leader on it. And I'm urging Mitch McConnell, along with many of us, put it now on the floor for a vote, because it's fair, it's reasonable, it's practical. It says that we should have things like a national standard for excessive use of force. So when a police officer uses excessive force, the question we should ask is not, was that reasonable, which is what currently we ask. We should, because you can reason away anything, we should be asking, was that necessary? We're saying that there should be independent investigations, because the prosecutor who works with that police department every day will at least have an appearance of a conflict of interest, and we want to bring integrity to the system. So these are some of the things that we're talking about. And people are marching in the streets by the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. People who seemingly have nothing in common are joining together because they are now seeing in vivid detail, because of smartphones, what communities, and in particular the Black community, has known for generations. And there needs to be accountability and consequence on this issue. And we don't need to study it. We've studied it for generations. Emmett Till's mother was trying to help us figure this out when she had the courage to leave that open casket to show the world the brutality that we're talking about. We don't need to study it anymore. We need to act. And that's what our legislation would do. And so I encourage everyone to encourage Mitch McConnell to put it on the floor for a vote.
He seems to be a pretty easily convinced guy when it comes to bringing something to the vote. Old Mitch just needs a little encouragement.
Oh, hey, yeah, we can encourage him to put the John Lewis Voting Rights Act on the floor for a vote, so we can put teeth back in the voting rights and make sure that the elections that we have coming up allow everyone to participate equally.
I want to finish with this. There's a short list. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's a short list for VP, and it's like a list of names of people, and some would say that you might be on that list. So do you want to give me a very safe answer that you might have pre-planned that you give to people when they say, what would you want to be vice president? Just make it safe.
Okay, let me read my answer.
There you go. You know what? We'll just leave it at that.
No, but let me say this. Let me say I'm honored to be a part of this discussion, and I say this to you from the bottom of my heart and soul. We have to elect Joe Biden the next president of the United States. And I will do everything in my power, regardless of where I am. We have to elect him. We cannot endure another 4 years of Donald Trump. We need a president who at this moment in time has compassion, who has empathy, who has a sense of dignity, self-dignity, and lifting up the dignity of others, somebody who fights for working families. That's who Joe Biden is. I know Joe. This is literally who he is. And we need to save the soul of our country. We really do. We need a president who cares about the people and loves the people. Like, talk about John Lewis. Let's connect these two things. Part of the leadership and the power of John Lewis was he was motivated by love.
Well, I think that is a nice place to leave it. Thank you so much for making time for us again, Senator.
Thank you, and
good to be have a great rest of your week.
Take care.